new candidate, somewhat new district. What are the challenges that you face getting into this race, and maybe once and if you're elected, do you foresee happening?
Well, first, thank you, Josh. Great to meet you. The district is huge. It's a new district. It's huge. I say that it spans from lake to shining lake. It goes all the way from Lake Michigan to Lake Erie. When I live towards Lake Michigan, so when I drive to Monroe in the Far East regions, it's about a 220-mile drive. So it's going to be tough for whoever is fortunate enough to win to get around and hold those town halls like I will. And but in another sense, it won't be so tough because the district is sort of all of one spirit. It's really homogeneous in the way that it's composed of just hundreds of small towns.
You, having not run in this district before, any experience in politics in the past?
Yes, I have run for office in Illinois.
Have you held office?
No, I'm not.
For people who are here in Michigan, people who are lifelong Michiganders, they have somebody that's new coming into this district who's not from Michigan. How do you compete with that, and what do you tell those voters who say maybe you don't represent their lifelong ideals, values in Michigan?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm going to hear that, and my opponent, Tim Wahlberg, has certainly made it clear that he's going to be mentioning that, which is a little unusual. I grew up in Kentucky. I moved to Chicago to go to college and law school, and then spent most of my adult life there. He also grew up in Illinois and was educated there, worked there for a while before he moved to Michigan. But I always say that if there's one area that he's proved himself smarter than me, it was that he moved to Michigan sooner than I did. I wish I'd moved sooner, but I hardly see that as disqualifying at all. I'm a very personable person and quite a studious one, and I will work with everyone to see what we can do to represent the interests of South Michigan.
It's possible that politics and positioning, I mean, we're seeing the districts changing, their influx. It seems like politics potentially are in flux in the state. We have a governor's race, we have districts, several, highly contested district races across the state. What are you seeing in the political landscape in Michigan that caught your eye that made you want to run?
Well, what made me want to run was really fairly simple, and that was that even before January 6th, I was of the opinion that our nation was just barely hanging on by a thread. So I wanted to do what I could to help the healing. I mean, when you have a nation and people that are in the two opposing parties hesitate to be friends any longer. They can't agree on what a fact is. They can't agree on what's a good institution or if they like any institutions. We're barely hanging on. And then January 6th happened, and it got even worse. So I had moved to Michigan, never intending to run for office, and then we had redistricting. The representative that had represented my district before was a moderate Republican, and I would have never challenged him. But the representative that was going to be carrying the Republican banner in this new district was, again, his name's Tim Wahlberg, and he's a 7-term incumbent. And he's just, from my point of view, part of the problem. He's somebody who plays the partisan games, riling up the base, and the thing to me that was just absolutely disqualifying, and the real reason I ran is he voted to deny the election results on January 6th. So, I hope to be someone who will listen to and respect everyone to help heal, because if we don't, I don't know that our democracy has much of a future.
Do you think, and because you pointed out that Wahlberg didn't vote to ratify the election, if in the future, if you were to be elected here and in the 2024 election,
right?
We're having to deal with hypotheticals because we don't know
Sure.
for certain, but if Trump were to run again and he was voted in, or a Republican for that matter, were to win, do you see yourself being able to support and ratify that election?
With 100% certainty. If you go to my website, or if you've ever heard a speech I made, that's #1 about what makes me different between my opponent and myself. I'll have the guts to ratify an election, no matter which party won, because our nation is so much more important than any political party.
maybe some of the issues that are important to people and that have been highlighted in other races in the state. Where do you stand, and what do you support as far as is concerned with abortion?
Yeah, I am pro-choice when it comes to abortion. I want to be clear and firm on that. I think it's an issue you can't play politics on. My opponent is firmly against it, and I respect that. I respect people that are pro-life, but I do disagree with them, and I feel that the Roe versus Wade standard that we had previously was a pretty good balance, struck a pretty good balance between the rights of the living and the rights of the unborn, and that's what I would favor.
Under any circumstance?
No, I mean under the Roe versus Wade standard.
I mean abortion under any circumstance.
Oh no, I guess yeah. I mean, I guess I trust women to make that decision. No one wants to see an abortion late in a pregnancy, and I don't know anybody who would want to do that. I mean, I'm sort of quoting Pete Buttigieg here, who years ago, I think it was Chris Wallace, asked him, you know, do you support an abortion in the third trimester? And he sort of tried to get away from the issue, and then he said, you know what, the fact is this, by the third trimester, you've already named the baby, you've designed the room. If there is an abortion at that point, it's because there is something terribly wrong with either the health of the mother or the baby has already passed on. So in those instances, yes, I could see it happening.
The other pressing ones that we talk about a lot, gun rights, they often come up.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that? I know it's a general question, but
yeah.
Can you sum up your stance?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, I'm not somebody who wants to repeal the Second Amendment. I mean, gun ownership is an American right, but just like freedom of speech or freedom of religion, there's limitations on that right. So certainly everybody has a right to have a gun in their home, but I favor reasonable limitations. I guess, and I applaud that recently Congress moved a little bit more in that direction. If there was one thing that I would really like to change, it's that right now you can't buy a handgun under federal law until you're 21, but you can buy a rifle, including an assault rifle, at the age of 18. So I would like to change that age for a rifle/assault rifle to 21 as well, because a number of these mass shootings have been committed by men in the 18 to 21 range. So I think that would be helpful. And I also support background checks.
In line of maybe bipartisan support, and you talked about being friendly with people across the aisle. We have a race, take the 3rd Congressional District, for example, John Gibbs, Hillary Scholten. John Gibbs is somebody who's fairly new and might be in line with somebody like Wahlberg. Do you foresee being able to work hand in hand if he were to win this election and you won the election as well? Do you see that you could work with somebody like him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've got no problem with it at all. I mean, you know, when I say that I will listen to and respect everyone, it doesn't mean I have to agree with them. But we'll sit down, we'll talk it through and try and find some middle ground. I think that's the only way we ever get out of this mess.
Are there certain things you have in mind if you were to win that you would want to tackle first that would be top of the agenda?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know what would come first. You know, one pledge I've made is this. Agriculture, obviously, is a big industry in Michigan and southern Michigan. And in Congress, there's 51 members of the Agriculture Committee. So you might think that we have a handful of them. We don't have any. So I have pledged that that will be my first choice for a committee assignment. And that way I'll be able to work on the 2023 Farm Bill, because the small farmers in Michigan, South Michigan, really need some help, you know, beyond just the things that most of us know about, you know, namely infrastructure and broadband. One thing that, you know, if you wanted me to get more into the minutia a little bit, there's something called the H-2A visa program that exists to allow farmers to hire seasonal workers, sometimes called migrant workers. And under that system, as it now exists, it's really expensive, and the red tape to navigate it is really burdensome. People usually have to hire a third party to help them with it. So I really want to work to streamline that to make it more effective, because that's really important to farmers here. Right now, for example, we've got cherries just dying on the trees because farmers can't afford to hire anybody to pick them.
And maybe that is your top priority for maybe the district specifically, because we talked about a lot of topics in general. Are there other issues for your district, which spans across the entire width of the state, really, from the west side to the east side, that maybe you have in mind?
Well, that are just, I mean, a lot of the issues that I care so much about, I don't know that the others are directly, that they concern just southern Michigan. Certainly I'm very, I care very much about our environment, and we're just incredibly lucky here in Michigan that we have all this clean, abundant water that's in the Great Lakes. So I care very much about protecting that, and one issue that will be coming to the fore is the pipeline between the mainland and Mackinac Island, and so that is something that I would really want to get involved in, because if there was ever a leak, I was recently at a debate with my opponent, and somebody asked him about it, and he said, well, it's been there 80 years and it hasn't leaked yet. Well, that's exactly why this pipeline needs to be fortified, because if it ever happened, it would be catastrophic for us. So that's an example of something that is unique to Michigan.
Well, what are we missing? Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you talked a little about priority issues. As you're campaigning and you're talking to voters, what kinds of things are they telling you? What are you hearing from them that they want to see in Congress that are their priorities? Like, what are you hearing from voters?
Yeah, the two things that I hear most about are, one, reproductive rights, because that is just so important to so many people, maybe more so on the Democratic side than the Republican side. That's going to be on the ballot this year, the initiative, and I think it's going to cause incredible turnout. So that's probably way more often than not, that's the first question people have for me, is my stance there. And then I think the second thing is just the economy, inflation. They feel it. While the job market's going great, wages are up, there's no doubt inflation's real. And if your wages aren't going up, it hurts. So that's something that people are very, very concerned about, how we're going to get that back under control.
With inflation and the economy in mind, do you have any particular proposals or plans you'd like to work on that could help, the struggling farmer in District 5 that it may not be having enough money to put food on the table and hire workers? What kinds of things are you looking at?
Well, I think it's important to remember what caused the inflation. The derogatory term of Biden inflation is extremely inaccurate. It wasn't caused by either party. What we had a pandemic, and during the pandemic, stimulus payments were made, and as a result, people had money. They were looking for ways to spend it, but they couldn't leave their house, and the goods that they wanted to buy when it finally eased up weren't available due to supply chain issues. And then the other major part of it was the fuel prices, which are just so high right now, and the biggest factor there is, of course, the Ukraine war. While we don't buy Russian gas here, they do in Europe, and that affects the world price of gasoline, and we feel it here. So most of these things are going to just ameliorate, dissipate, lessen on their own. But there's still things that we need to do. And for example, during the pandemic, big oil, big pharma, major corporations, they were really doing some price gouging and some profit taking. So that needs to be limited. I'm all for increasing the budget to the Federal Trade Commission so that they can get more serious about antitrust enforcement than we've been in the last 20 or 30 years. That's really gone by the wayside. So, that would be important. Here in Michigan, I want to, the biggest employment sector is manufacturing. It's small, medium-sized businesses. So I want to do everything I can to level the playing field for them. Too many benefits, tax breaks, whatnot are given to major corporations that then come in and hurt these businesses. So I want to do that, and the same goes for organized labor. Organized labor is, just a huge part of the middle class, and so I support things that level the playing field there, such as the PRO Act that was passed by the House recently, but it's probably not going to pass the Senate anytime soon. So when I'm in Congress, we'll have to work on a resolution to that as well.
You say, my last question here, you say your opponent is a 7-term incumbent. He's clearly been in Congress a long time. You've run for office, but you've never held office. What makes you the candidate that people should vote for? And what kind of background and experience do you have that you could bring to overtake your opponent?
Yeah, well, I mean, my background is I'm a lawyer. I mean, I went to one of the top law schools in the country, and I'm frankly an overeducated public policy nerd. I read a ton, and I'm very up on public policy. The main reason that that I think I will be a better choice than my opponent is, again, it gets back to the listen and respect thing. My opponent doesn't even have town halls where Democrats are invited. I am going to work to bring everybody together. I am going to be a problem solver, somebody that sees that as their number one function. And, that's the way the Democratic Party historically saw itself. And, in recent times, I think both parties have gotten away from it, but it won't be with me. And I think people will see when they meet me that I'm a trustworthy individual, and know that, I won't play games, that instead of playing the partisan game, I'll be there to work for them.
Sure. My last question, and I find it interesting, especially considering the state of the political climate right now, with as inflammatory as it can be in the back and forth.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that much from you. I mean, there's some things that you point to with your opponent, but how do you compete without being inflammatory in the state of the political climate right now? How do you get ahead without targeting?
Yeah, I mean, I do point out, some of the things that he's done in the past that I disagree with. He was a birther during the Obama administration. He's really sort of doubted that climate change is real. Of course, we talked about denying the election results. He's voted against same-sex marriage, even contraception. So I can point out those facts, but I am not going to insult Tim Walberg. That's just not me, and he doesn't deserve that. He's a public servant. He's been doing what he thought was right for a long period of time. I just disagree with him completely. I think that that our country took a real wrong turn, a generation or more ago, when we quit working together, and instead, everything became so partisan. And in my view, it started back with Newt Gingrich, and I see him as being a big part of that, and I'm sure he does that because he thinks it's best. So I'm not going to insult him because, one, that's not me, and two, I think that once you do that, you lose more people than you gain, because people are just so tired of hearing that stuff. They want to hear a viewpoint that says, "Hey, we're all Americans. Let's figure this out together."
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Are we missing any other questions?
That's good. Yeah.
Awesome. Great.
Great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.